right, guys. There's always confusion in my bird identify. I'm obviously not an expert. I don't have all that fancy equipment. There is a big confusion about the big black birds currently flying in this area down here in the Rio Grande Valley, Texas location in a map. While I am seeing and have seen a lot of the Texas black vultures, the biggest difference in these birds are not only in the wings, but they're also in the beak. Okay, so what I am seeing a lot of is the zone-tailed black hawk. I'm seeing a lot of those right now, and I think at times I've confused them with the black vulture, which we do also have a lot of here. And at a distance, you cannot judge their size, like whatsoever. So if you follow me on social network, I have put up in a few locations a picture of some photos that I took of the zone-tailed Black Hawk earlier. We also have a bird called the rock warbler that's flying around here, and that is that little bitty tiny tan bird with the tan belly and darker top wings that you're seeing in my live streams here. We have a lot of variety of bird here, and warbler is one of them that we have a lot of variety, especially in terms of color. And so I was able to firmly identify that bird as a warbler. It's not a thrasher. It's not a warbasher bird. It's not a flycatcher. It's definitely a warbler. And I'm always trying to get up on what the different birds are. For example, we have a white kite bird that flies here almost every day this time of the year. I got pictures of him today flying around. I was talking to my fiance in Sierra Leone, and I was showing her that bird flying around today. Very beautiful bird. Gray at the end of his wings. We also get the sea eagle, the white sea eagle here this time of the year and for the past month or so. So they're in and out a lot. They're much, much bigger birds, so it's easier to tell them apart. Their coloring scheme's a little different. We also have the white hawk and the white falcons that live here. And those can be very hard to tell apart, especially between the falcon and a certain type of white eagle. There are 3 type of white eagles that we can or could see here. And if you see the spotted one, it's hard to tell between that one and the hawk, but you can generally tell a hawk is a hawk. There's a little difference in those. And the difference between the eagle and the falcon is much closer and harder to tell apart. That would be a bird I would have to look up later. I'll probably mislabel him, or I might get lucky and get him right. As far as what bird we're looking at times, generally the size will tell the difference, but not always. So you have to bear with me sometimes, guys. I do the best I can. I'm just a bird enthusiast, but more times than not, I would say 90% of the time, I'm always going back and looking up what kind of birds these are and correcting any mistakes that I may have made, or properly identifying the birds, right? And also, I would say I get it right about 75% of the time. Sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more. But it is a very interesting hobby, and we do have a tremendous amount of variety of birds that fly here. There's too many to get it right every time if you're normal person, let alone y'all, like you'll hardly ever get it right. Let alone if you're somebody who's from here or just a bird enthusiast. You have to be a bird expert in the field to get it right, and they don't get it right most of the time. Well, most of the time they probably get it right, like 80%. They'll be up around 80, 90%. While we're down there around 60 to 80%, and there's a lot of you that's like way lower than 60%. So, but I'm getting a lot better at telling them apart. The biggest difference between the this zone-tailed blackhawk that I'm seeing here and the eagle, the black, what's called the Texas black vulture, the biggest difference outside of the sharper wings on the eagle is the beak. The beak on the vulture is really long and it's black. Now, it can be a discolored yellow, but generally it don't matter. It's going to be a much longer beak, and instead of hook, it's going to be more pointed at the end of the beak. And as to where the zone-tailed hawk has a yellow beak and it's curved and it's not near as long. There's a big difference in the size, and that's not the accurate size of the beak. I mean, obviously, but the vulture has a much larger beak. So there is a huge difference in the birds. Once they get up close, you can tell them apart. Today, I had a zone-tailed black hawk fly very close to me, and by the time I got a picture of him, he was a decent distance, but you can tell for sure what kind of bird it is. He wasn't that far off. I didn't get a really good picture of him. I got one really good photo of the bird that makes it undeniable what kind of bird it is. So I was happy to be able to bring that to you. If you're in my social media, you've seen the picture. I did not get him on the live stream because I was too busy with other activity. I did get a picture of him though, and I think that's pretty good to have been able to do that. If I hadn't reacted right away, I would not have even gotten a picture of him. They're also a fast flying hunter. They don't stay in one area for a real prolonged, pronounced period of time unless they're seeing a lot of predator action down there, or predatory, like, you know, if they see a lot of rabbits running around, things like that. I did see a rabbit running through the field in broad daylight today, which is unusual since the jaguar rundi has been here. And there, just now today, a domesticated cat showed up here today. He is very large. He's a third of the size of the jaguar rundi, though. If that jaguar rundi shows up back around here and sees that cat, well, we know what's going to happen there. It's bye-bye kitty cat. But a little turkey even came up to try to eat on that food and was eating on it. I had to run him off because I don't put the food out there for him. I put it out there for the jaguar rundi to eat. And I'm trying to get him up close here to where I can get him in the live stream. So I'll keep an eye out. That entire tray, almost as big as the seat of that chair, is covered and full of probably 1 inch thick canned food. So there's plenty of food in there for the birds, for the other wild animals, and for the jaguar rundi. So that's not a problem, putting out plenty of food for the cat, for the jaguar rundi in particular. There'll always be a meal there to try in a live stream. So we'll see how that goes as we continue to do my little bird watching. Now, I don't have a lot of time tonight, and I don't see any real action flying around here right now, but you know how that goes. I can change in a split second. But there's always a lot of good action around here. I did get to see the kite, the white kite bird flying around today, and he's growing. He's getting bigger. He looks like he might even be about a 3-foot wingspan total. I mean, He's not really a big bird. He's a small bird. He's got thin wings. He's got falcon-like wings, but they're really thin. Oh, there he is right there. He just popped out of a low sitting area in the tree there. See how big he is? He's a big boy. I mean, for that kind of bird, I'd say he's a good, solid 3 feet now. Where he hasn't been that big in the past, it could be a different one that's hunting up through here now. I don't know. But he flew off that way. He was low, sitting somewhere in a tree out here or something. Usually he sits higher up in the tree. Might be a different kite bird, but it is definitely a kite bird. And I got to see him flying around hunting out here, and also the zone-tailed black hawk. What's the word, guys?
Hey, Pasa.
Hey, amigo. Anyway, so it's pretty cool hobby to be able to sit here and do this. Tomorrow I'm going to be very busy all day long, so it probably won't be until the afternoon before I'm available to, if I do a live stream show on birds and whatnot, doing a live stream, if at all. But yeah. And as you can see, we have beautiful weather. The wind has been so strong here today, it can literally push you. And you can hear it kicking up really, really strong. It's been this way all day long, just a wind gush, just steadily gushing through all day long. It slowed down for a little while, and now it's kicked back up again. Heavy, heavy winds. Most of you where you live, you don't see this kind of wind unless there's a thunderstorm coming in or during a storm. No, we get this kind of wind on a regular basis. So this is just like living in Windy City, baby. Sometimes it's just really, the wind is really gushing through, and that's just the way it is living down here. And then sometimes it's not. Usually it's a light, beautiful breeze, but we do get this wind gushing quite often. So like last night it kicked up during the night, and now I don't know if it died down, but it's been this way all day long here. So the zone-tailed black hawk has been hunting this location. I hope to see him while I'm live streaming right now. I'll show you one. They got a smaller yellow beak compared to the Texas black vulture eagle, which has a much longer beak, almost twice as long. And they got the black or the darker beak compared to the yellow beak of the hawk. And he was down hunting kind of low, actually, all through here. He hunted all the way through here and eventually went off in that direction. But one of them could fly up out of the backfield back here at any given moment. So you just never know. So I don't mind going live stream, even though I'm not seeing any birds. The only bird I've caught really in the live stream right now has been that white kite bird. And he's getting bigger. He's a good solid, I would say 3 feet wingtip to wingtip. So he's a good sized little turkey. He might be longer than that in his wingspan. I mean, hell, he might be 4 feet. I might be misjudging his wing because I think this is a different one. The other one wasn't no more than 2-3 feet wingspan. This one here looks like he's pretty big. If I put him up on the back of this truck, I mean, he would come probably out to that first red light there. So what is that? That's about a good solid, almost 4.5, 5 feet. So I think this is definitely a different white kite bird that we're seeing, but he is a white kite. But he's got a long wing. It's just real skinny, and his body's not that big. He's not a really huge bird. He's a little bit bigger than a common black bird. The black birds that get fat in the city, he's probably about a little bit bigger than that, if not just that size. But he is a predator bird, much more so than any black bird. And the blackbirds don't even dream about messing with him. So he's there to tell you all you need to know about him. He can outfly them, and he's much more aggressive. He's just a better fighter all the way around. But it's beautiful to get to see him perch up out here and fly down and make this kill. Literally almost every single day, I get to watch him go down and make a kill. If not one of these hawks or eagles, and sometimes you get to see one of these falcons. We've got a lot of falcons live out here, just a whole lot of them. Some of them are really huge, and some of them are not that big. And once in a great while, I'll see an owl. But the owl's probably the least amount seen bird that I've seen flying through this area. Usually it's a falcon or something like that instead of the owl that you see. But you can hear that wind. We got a lot of wind right now today, and that's okay. I don't mind at all. I love the wind because it keeps it nice and cool out here. How about that? I get to enjoying my coffee, enjoying my days, doing whatever I feel like doing. I don't like to see all that negative news they post, or like that new Star Trek thing they're posting today about. It's all racist, Nobody even wants to hear about that crap, right? If an actor's black or white or Hispanic or Asian, who gives a damn? We don't even care if they're Indian. Like the show, we're gonna watch the show. Don't bring your damn racism into our damn shows. I see too much of that or anything, feminism or anything brought into the show as a topic. I quit watching the damn show. I boycott it. Just like with Sweden, I won't buy anything Sweden right now. Handbags, shoes, jackets, clothing of any kind, robotic, drones, anything. I will not buy anything Swedish or from Sweden whatsoever, because as long as they're poisoning the world with their damn sugar, they get kiss mama. You know what? And so I'm not going to ever buy anything Sweden until they decide to lower their sugar down to a proper amount that's not literally poisoning the hell out of the world. So when I see a bad thing coming from a certain part of the world, I'm just naturally going to boycott that part of that entire area right there, because that's their mental way of thinking, in my opinion. Unless it's a bigger country like China, where it's much more diversified. And even then, there are times when I must do anything China, right? Chinese or anything, and except for their food. Oh God, I can't resist that food, right? But Thai food is my favorite Oriental food, so I don't want to talk about that too much outside of to tell you that. There's some other Oriental food throughout the Orient. It's absolutely marvelous. South Koreans have great food. I was watching one the other day where they had this egg thing, and they were spreading out like this, like 4 fingers, like crisscross, and they put that out, and it's like a noodle. It's a noodle that they're spreading out like that, and then they come back and add in the egg, 2 eggs per corner, and then they kind of mix it around just about with a wooden spatula, just kind of spread it around in 4 different squared areas. And then they come back and add whatever else they're putting on there, whether it's tofu or something else. And then they slice it like a cross, and then they fold it over into a pie. And it just looks so yummy. Like, oh my God. Oh God, I gotta have one of those one day. I wish I could have one of those. Certain Vietnamese food is good. I like your more traditional, some of the Japanese food. So I'm kind of like that when it comes to certain foods. And then, of course, everybody likes good food in general. Some of the foods I see people posting, okay, whatever, or I happen to know taste terrible. To me, anything with a buffalo in it's not going to taste near as good as anything with beef in it. So I don't want to hear it. You can keep your buffalo. I don't need it. And your European cattle, as far as milk is concerned, does not taste near what your Australian cattle taste like. That's the best milk on the market, bar none. I believe there's another type of cow that also produces a very rich and creamy milk. I forget what that's called. European cattle was just some cattle that they brought over that was they could bring in large numbers, and it provided a large amount of beef to people. That's the only reason that particular cattle was brought over, because of the weight that they could put onto these ships when it comes to bringing cattle over here. There are other types of cattle that you can get better tasting beef out of, great tasting beef, just the same, and provide more beef. Your Brahma bull is not one of them. That's like in between a buffalo tasting steak or a European cattle steak. That would not be one of my favorite in comparison to others. But there are a lot of different varieties of food out there that I love. I love most every kind of food: seafood, hamburgers, pizza, you name it. I love it. I don't like anything burnt. Burnt bacon, it's burnt to a crust or a crust. You can keep that. There's no reason or logic in doing that. That's just, I look at people that cook it kind of burnt bacon, and I say, more power to you, baby. Better you than me. And it's okay. It tastes okay, but it's just not near as good. So, yeah, of course, I'm thinking like anybody about their certain food. I've been introduced to other new foods in the world that's pretty good. So not all of it is, though. Let's be honest about it. And but when it comes to this bird watching, I like to be as accurate as possible and learn more and more and more every day as I go, and just try to get better with it. God, there's a lot of wind blowing today. Like, oh my God, the wind. The wind is sickening. There's just so much wind here. I got to tell you, it's a lot better than me having a holder with damn hands, and I believe that holder down there can block out most of the wind that you're probably hearing and whatnot. I could even put this rock right down there, a little piece of marble. Hold on a minute. Trying to block off as much wind as I can to the microphone. It's always a good plus, right? You can do that. So there you go. Is that better for you? Oh, the wind died down too, so I know you can hear me better. But yeah, I love bird watching. It's just one of the things. I know a lot of people love birds. Right now, just generally speaking, more than I'm showing you anything, because there's nothing to show you right now. When there's a lot of wind, you see less avian activity in the air. When you do, it's going to be a bird that's hungry. Probably going to, most likely, half the time you see them going to make a kill. So we'll see if we see anything flying or not. They're definitely out hunting today, like every day. And I always got my eye out for that jaguar Ruby, so that's the main reason I'm watching this today. 4:30 on. I'm always waiting to be able to have the fortunate ability to see this jaguar Ruby, but I really want to catch him on live stream. So we'll see if we can make that happen or not. He's a beautiful creature. Move over half a mile or a quarter of a mile. It's not going to affect him a whole lot. But they are talking about developing this area right here. So that's fine. They do probably go rent down the road a little bit. Keep my eye out for the jaguar. way away if they even do decide to go that direction here. Certain people have themselves brainwashed that that's going to happen here. That doesn't always mean that's the case. Somebody believes it. Just because a lot of people say it doesn't mean anything. People want a house, they're more likely to buy some property, a little abandoned house, tear that sucker down and rebuild a new house. Why not? You already got your foundation there. And there's a lot of those around here. You know, back in the day, back in the early 2000s, back in the 90s, again and again, I always thought this area was going to get highly developed. It never did, never panned out. So I believe that to be the case right now here today, to be honest with you. There's always a possibility, but you know, I'm not seeing it that way. So yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, the jet's here for you. You see the jet flying. Sometimes you kind of look back, see if there's a bird flying over here. You see a jet. Oh, wait. Oh, that's not really a bird. It is a bird, but it's a man-made bird, right? So I think that's pretty cool when you see that. It's pretty funny because when you're in a heavy bird watching area and you bird watching, you see a plane out of the side of your eye, even at a great distance. You're always going to look. You're always going to give it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Hey, dig it, baby. I can speak Ebonics too. Yeah, me and Ebonics come from people from Africa coming to America. And, you know, they got a heavy accent to begin with, so they always pronounce words differently, so it makes sense. Ooh, I put the right amount of creamer in my coffee. It's wonderful. I got fresh coffee in there waiting to be poured into my cup. Finish this off and like a fresh cup of coffee in my cup. And I'm trying to leave as much view in there for you. That way, if a bird comes flying by this side right here, you'll be able to see him flying by. That's why. I could change this over a little bit though. Let me move this all over a little bit. There we go. Hope you can hear me all right. Should be able to hear me pretty good without all too much wind blowing, even though the wind's seriously blowing because I got it cupped underneath this little tray right here. Should cut off a lot of that wind that you're hearing. We got a lot of wind gusts going right now. There just ain't no way around that. So now you got a good broad eye view of the sky right here on the side of me in case a bird comes flying by. See, I'm not talking about a man-made bird like that one right there. There it is. The airport's been very active this week. I noticed that. Very active. Baby, come on. Any kind of love will do. You just can't get along. Baby, come on. Woo. Yeah. You know, if I had a mic, I'd sound better. But I can't sing worth crap anyway, so who cares? I think I used to. People used to tell me I could make it back up singing. So what's going on?
Not too much.
Hey, I was telling him tomorrow, don't forget to make himself available for me.
Well, thank you, guys.
Yeah, I'm going to take care of him. Would make a lot of sense. Yeah, this is cute. We got a big domesticated cat running around here, keeping an eye on Fifi. Down there on the other side of the shed, boy, there's some snakes over there. Be careful. Oh no, okay, they're back there in the garden. I started the little garden back there. Might be planting new seeds, watermelon or something. All right. Yeah, bull snake in here. Another big old python top snake in here occasionally. No big deal. Hope everybody's having a good day today, though. People are funny. Come here, Fifi. Fifi, come here. Yeah, dog. Hey guys, it's a little windy. No birds flying right now, this time of the day, but earlier it was. Small one. I wanted to give you an update on that tan bird, though. That tan bird is definitely a warbler. At least it's been identified. I know what kind of bird it is, so that's always good. Catch you later.